Skip it up and that up. So I got to give a huge shout out to Jay's 2 cents. He runs an incredible YouTube channel which is mostly dedicated to PC gaming, doing PC builds and reviewing PC components. And if you don't know who Jay's 2 cents is, I strongly suggest you subscribe to him. I'll have a link to his YouTube channel below in the description. So why am I giving a random shout out to Jay's 2 cents? You're probably wondering. Well, I'll explain. AMD was nice enough to send me out all three of the Ryzen 7 processors. That's the 1800X, the 1700X, and the 1700. And they wanted me to do benchmarks and a review on it, which is fine. I was all ready and prepared to do it. But the problem is that I don't have the same resources that other reviewers have. Channels that are dedicated to reviewing PC components have access to multiple different processors, and they have the CPUs from Intel and AMD and other parts that they could put rigs together and compare them, okay? I don't have an Intel i7 6900K laying around. I don't have an Intel i7 6850K laying around. I don't have an Intel i7 6800K laying around. And I don't have an Intel i7 7700K. And it's not necessarily easy for me to get my hands on those parts or review samples, usually because of the fact that I am mostly a gaming and tech news channel. I'm not a gaming review channel, even though, yes, my name is Review Tech USA. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, shit. Okay, my main rig has a 5960X in it. That's an 8-core Haswell E processor. I can compare it to that, but my review and benchmarks would be limited compared to other reviews on YouTube because, again, I don't have access to the same components that other tech review channels have access to that are dedicated to reviewing PC parts. That's why they have the access to them. It makes sense for them to have the access to get those review samples. So am I still going to do a video where I compare the Ryzen 7 1800X compared to my 5960X? Yes, I'm going to. Not right away, but I'm going to. But I'm going to do what Jay's 2 cents is doing as well. And AMD, I'm sure you're going to be happy with this because you're going to get 10 times the coverage from me than just doing a flat out review, which you're still going to get that too anyway. So what the hell is going to happen here? What am I leading up to? Like Jay's 2 cents, I am for 30 days, a whole month, am only going to use my Ryzen 7 1800X rig. I'm going to have it as my daily driver. I'm going to use it the same way I use my Intel i7 5960X rig. I'm going to pull that out from under my desk, put it over to the side, and I'm going to use my AMD Ryzen R7 1800X rig the same way. And I'm going to really dig into it by using it as my daily driver to edit videos on, to record gameplay footage on. I'm going to see all the positives and negatives of Ryzen that you wouldn't see with just a review and just running benchmarks. I'm going to figure out all the quirks. I'm going to see how it is with video editing and rendering and gaming, because even though Ryzen seems to be kicking ass when it comes to productivity, when it comes to gaming performance, I saw it on Digital Foundry especially, it seems to be lagging behind. And those are things I'm going to notice and pay attention to. Is it a big difference with using the Ryzen 7 1800X rig when I play games? Am I noticing big frame rate differences? So I thought Jay's 2 cents idea was brilliant. I'm like, man, what a great way to really discuss with you guys the positives and negatives of Ryzen by using it every day for a month. And what I'll also do, which will be interesting, is give you guys a weekly update on using the Ryzen 7 1800X. And with those updates, I'll talk about both positive and negative things I really like about the processor, quirks that possibly have pissed me off about the Ryzen 7 1800X. And I'll let you know how things are going in general. Do I feel like I'm missing out by not being on my Core i7 5960X rig? I'll let you know things like, for example, how the Ryzen 7 1800X is working with shadow play. Am I having any issues capturing PC gameplay with shadow play when I'm on the Ryzen 7 1800X? Or is it running butter smooth? Those are things that I'll let you guys know. And with me doing this 30-day challenge, you understand what I'm trying to say? You'll really see the ins and outs of Ryzen 7, and you'll see the benefits and drawbacks to it. And again, those are things you would not see in a review where the guy used the processor for 48 to 72 hours and just ran a bunch of benchmarks. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I am joining Jay's 2 cents in the 30-day Ryzen challenge. Tomorrow, I will have a video up showing my Ryzen rig. It's actually really gorgeous. I really like the way it came out. And I'll also talk about all the components that are in it, obviously, besides the processor, what kind of motherboard I use, the case, case, so on and so forth, so you could really see the machine that I'm going to be working with for 30 days. So again, Jay, thank you for this incredible idea. I give all the credit to Jay for thinking of this, and I'll have a link to his YouTube channel below. Once again, I suggest you check it out. He does phenomenal work over there. This is Richard Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.